Some monster stories begin with the creature already in front of you. This one starts with a traveler who is simply lost after dark. A ruined temple gives him a strange name. A village gives him the reason it matters. From there, every step has somewhere to go. Keep Schippeitaro in mind when you hear it. We'll follow the road with him. Long ago, when fairies and giants, ogres and dragons were part of the world, a bold young warrior set out. He crossed the edge of what he knew, unsure of what waited, searching for adventures he had not yet seen. For some time, he traveled on, nothing unusual crossing his path. The thick forest opened into a wild and lonely mountainside as evening settled. No village appeared, no cottage, not even a charcoal burner's hut at the forest's edge. A faint, overgrown path had guided him, but it disappeared beneath tall grasses. Twilight pressed in, and every attempt to find the track tangled him deeper into brambles. All around, growth tightened, leaving only the sense of being shut in. Tired and unsteady, he moved forward into the deepening dark until he reached a little temple, deserted and crumbling, yet holding its shrine. Here, with no food, he wrapped himself in his cloak, his sword set by his side, and lay down. Soon, he was asleep. Just before midnight, a dreadful noise woke him. At first, he wondered if he was still dreaming, yet the sound pressed on, shrieks and yells forcing through every corner. He lifted himself with care, gripping his sword before peering through a gap in the ruined wall. What he saw outside could not be reasoned away. A gang of hideous cats twisted together in a wild dance, their cries echoing out into the open night. Over the howling, the words broke through, every syllable distinct. "Tell it not to Schippeitaro. Listen for his bark. Tell it not to Schippeitaro. Keep it close and dark." The full moon shone coldly over the tangle, casting its light on each frantic movement. He watched from his hiding place, held in silent amazement and horror. Then, once midnight had passed, the cats vanished. Silence took the space left behind. The rest of the night eased, and the young warrior slept on until morning. He woke with the sun already high and quickened his steps away from where he'd slept. The morning's brightness revealed tracks that last night's dimness had concealed. He followed them, noting how, in full light, the path chose its direction. They led, not toward the thick woods as he had half feared, but out to an open plain. Across the field, he saw a cottage or two and the shape of a village farther off. His hunger stirred, but he paused when a woman's voice cut across the space, clear and urgent. The cry crowded out his hunger. He turned to the nearest cottage and asked what troubled them, and if he could do anything. They listened, sorrow in the way they shook their heads. Any help would come to nothing, they said. Each year, the mountain spirit takes a victim. The time has come. Tonight, our loveliest maiden will be devoured. This is our cause for anguish. The young warrior, baffled, pressed for more. They explained. At sunset, she would be placed in a cage and carried to the ruined temple he himself had used for shelter. She would be left there through the night, and by morning, she would vanish. It had always been so, and this year would be no different. It could not be changed. By morning, the night at the temple has turned into something useful. The village gives him the danger. The cats have already given him a name. Now he has somewhere to go. He listened, and a determined wish to rescue the maiden settled in him. The talk of the ruined shrine set the memory of yesterday's adventure in order. He questioned the townspeople about Schippeitaro, asking who he was. They told him, "Schippeitaro is a strong, beautiful dog, belonging to the headman of our prince. We often see him beside his master. He's a brave fellow." He let their words guide his next step and went straight to Schippeitaro's master, requesting the dog's company for one night. At first, the man hesitated but finally agreed, provided Schippeitaro returned the next day. The young warrior took the dog and moved ahead, intention pushing him quietly onward. He met with the maiden's parents, instructing them to keep her inside and watch until he returned. He placed Schippeitaro, the dog, in the cage meant for her, and with several village youth, carried it up to the old temple and set it down. The young men refused to remain on that haunted ground. They hurried away, steps quick and uncertain, heading down the mountain. He stayed with only the dog for company, waiting through the hush to see what would come. Midnight brought the full moon, its light settled across the mountain. The phantom cats returned. At their center moved a black tomcat. larger, fiercer than the others, easy for the young warrior to recognize as the mountain demon himself. The great cat spotted the cage. It sprang and circled, gloating, the other cats pressing close beside. He tormented his supposed captive for some time, then flung wide the cage door. He would have escaped, but this time he met his match. Schippeitaro sprang forward and caught him, teeth gripping tight so he could not move. The young warrior stepped in and with one clean stroke of his sword, left the monster dead at their feet. The other cats froze, staring at their fallen leader. The knight and Schippeitaro dispatched the rest in moments. The young warrior returned the brave dog to its master. With a steady word of thanks, he turned to the maiden's parents and told them their daughter was free. News passed swiftly through the village as he explained the demon had taken its last victim and would trouble them no more. "You owe all this to the brave Schippeitaro," he said. Then, with brief farewell, he went his way in search of new adventures. The story gives Schippeitaro exactly one night to matter, and that is enough. The warrior follows the clue. The dog does what the mountain demon feared, and the maiden goes free. Then the traveler returns Schippeitaro, gives him the credit, and keeps moving. Nothing in this one stays still for very long. If you want more old stories about strange creatures and stranger rules, subscribe to the Chronicler's Tales. There's another one waiting.